Yeah, I think the Sabres' biggest move is going to be in the offseason, seemingly, hopefully, when they change the structure and their leadership.
Does that include Lindy Ruff?
Biggest names on the block this year, you're hearing Mikko Rantanen still. You're hearing Elias Pettersson. You're hearing Brad Marchand to a degree, Brox Nelson and Besser, the Shen brothers. But there's also some young guys like Noah Dobson, Dylan Cozens, Bowen Byram, who could be moved. Although, should note, Darren Drager tweeted today, the Buffalo Sabres have received numerous offers, strong offers, for futures on a myriad of Buffalo players potentially in play. The Sabres don't need draft picks or prospects. They need legit roster players. Adams remains open to big moves, but it could be a quiet deadline in Buffalo. How do you feel about that, Sean?
Good. I think I might be in the minority, but I've said it many times. I don't want Kevyn Adams doing anything to save his job. And, we don't need draft. That's it. We don't need draft picks. We don't need prospects. They need players that'll help them make the playoffs next year. So if you're not doing that, don't sacrifice your assets.
I would be very unexcited if I were a Buffalo Sabres fan and they left this deadline with another first-round pick. What did you move? You can move these guys, but they need to be hockey trades. And that's why they did that last year in getting Byram. I believe they moved Casey Middlestat for Byram. Do moves like that. Don't sell.
Yeah, absolutely not. You're
the rare team that sucks so bad you can't even sell.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the trades that we've heard about Buffalo have been in those kinds of hockey trades where would you do an Elias Pettersson for Dylan Cozens, blah, blah, blah.
Thank fucking God they didn't.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'll be interested to see what, if anything, happens with Elias Pettersson because boy, oh boy, that is a tough situation. But yeah, I think if you're a Sabres fan and they're saying, we are not committing one way or the other, I think that's fine. They're obviously, they need to get better. They need to get less asshole-ish. They need to get more mature, need better leadership, but they're not that far away. I don't think they need to sell. They just need to figure out what's missing and how they can kind of maneuver what they already have to get there.
Sean, what would you have done if the Sabres traded for Elias Pettersson before Four Nations and you had to experience that?
What? Oh, brother. I would have just probably said a lot of regrettable things, both in private and in public. I wouldn't be happy right now, I'll say that. But I wasn't. I feel like I've been pretty consistent with my thoughts on the Sabres with this deadline. Just any big swings, I'm going to be hesitant about because it will feel to me like Kevyn Adams is trying to save his job.
Yeah, I think the Sabres' biggest move is going to be in the offseason, seemingly, hopefully, when they change the structure and their leadership.
Does that include Lindy Ruff?
I go back and forth on that. I'd be okay with them getting rid of Lindy Ruff because he's not going to be there when they're really good again. I still think that he can get them to be a little more mature and responsible, but who knows? He's at a point in his life where maybe I don't see this in him, but maybe he's like, you know what? I'll ease off the gas and I'll take it a little easier. I don't want that from him, but who knows? Maybe he could be doing that.
I don't know. I feel like the Sabres are not by hiring Lindy Ruff for the reasons they hired Lindy Ruff, they've kind of put themselves in a position where you can't just embarrass the man that you hired for vibe's sake. So I feel like they're stuck with him for at least another year, but I don't think I have that big of a problem with it. I know that the solution is in the room thing got a lot of flack when Terry Pegula said it, but I don't feel like the truth is that far away from that. I feel like there's a lot of good players, and Lindy's not the problem. So we'll see.
That team is very far away from its potential, but the potential is there. I don't know if Lindy's the guy to bring it out of him. That's kind of where I just land on the
But I agree with that, though. There's so many players on that roster that when they are really good again, those are going to be not just contributors. Those are going to be the best players on the team. Still, when the Sabres get really good again, assuming there was someone threw out JJ Peterka as a guy who could potentially be moved. Oh my God, absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, that's got future Conn Smythe written all over it.
Right. But if and when they're good again, their best players are going to be Tage Thompson, JJ Peterka, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen,
Jiri
Rasmus
Kulich.
Dahlin, Owen Power, you would hope. Who?
I think Jiri Kulich
Yep.
is the future of that team.
Zach Benson.
Zach
lot of
Benson,
ways.
haven't even mentioned. Yeah. So their big move will come in the offseason, and I'm fine with them kind of being quietish.
And if not, we'll be right back here next year because nothing ever fucking changes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So that's Sabres talk.
We all silly like the mayor.